Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where we bring you the best in books, the most highly recommended books at the moment. Today I'm going to bring to your attention two great fiction reads by two very familiar authors. The first one is Kathy Reichs, The Bone Code. This is published by Simon & Schuster, and it retails for $24.99. Kathy Reichs is a forensic anthropologist in real life. She has handled more than her share of bodies and bones and the like. So when she writes these books, she writes from experience. The main character in all her books is Temperance Brennan, who goes by the name of Tempe. And this is book 20 of the series, and each time out she gives us a classic read. Now, Patricia Cornwell also writes as a forensic anthropologist, and she has a lot of books that are quite similar, but lately Patricia Cornwell has gone to the science fiction world. So Kathy Reichs is pretty well all alone. Well, she's not the only author, but the most notable one. And in The Bone Code, the book begins with her, Tempe Brennan, meeting a lady who is in her 70s. And she says her grandmother and great-grandmother, she shows pictures. And in the past, there were things that happened to them. Now, although that happened in the late 1800s, it has a partial relationship to the plot. So the main plot here is in South Carolina there is a massive storm coming, and they tell everyone to batten down the hatches. Well, after the storm passes, a medical container washes up on shore, and the police in Tempe investigate, and when they open it, they find the bodies of two women. Now, they have been wrapped extensively in plastic, and they have been bound with wire. So obviously they didn't get in there themselves. So now it's up to Tempe and the police to check out and see why this happened. Now, Tempe is dealing with a 6-foot-tall investigator. Her name is Veslowski, and she's no nonsense. Tempe tries to warm up to her, but Veslowski has her own way of doing things. Now, when Tempe tells her boyfriend, Lieutenant Andrew Ryan, about this case, a light bulb goes off in his head, and he says something like this happened 15 years ago in Quebec when a medical container washed up on shore with two bodies. So now the hunt is on to find out who these bodies are. And so Tempe and Veslowski and Andrew Ryan helps as well too to figure out what happened. And as we find out later, it is all to do with a medical company and some interesting experiments and things that are coming to the public. And the company obviously does not want the truth to come out. So a car aims at Andrew Ryan and Tempe as they walk down the street. Now, Andrew Ryan pushes Tempe out of the way and he gets hit. Luckily, he's not killed, but it appears that Tempe was the target. So anyways, there's a lot of forensic work. So if you like graphic forensic anthropology with descriptions of bodies and squeamish things, you'll be in your glory. But this book is, as always, as Kathy Reichs leads the book to a riveting conclusion, as she always does, because she knows what she's doing. Actually, the TV series Bones is based on her books, so another reason to like her book. So when you're out shopping for your reading material, The Bone Code, it's a bone-chillingly great book. The second book of note is Choose Me by TESS Gerritsen and Gary Braver. Incidentally, Gary Braver is the pen name for Gary Gashgorian. And people will know TESS Gerritsen. She is responsible for the popular TV series Rizzoli and Isles. And she has written for many years, and her her mystery writing is, well, it's always a bestseller. And now she's chosen to write with a co-author. And they write so well together. This is published by Thomas and Mercer, incidentally, and it retails for $23.95. The book begins with a girl by the name of Taryn Moore, who suddenly is found dead on the sidewalk. It appears she jumped from a high floor in her balcony. And when the police come, their first initial response is that she committed suicide, that this was an accident. Now, Detective Frankie Loomis is on the case, and immediately Frankie says, no, this was not just a suicide, because it appears that part of her skull was bashed in that had nothing to do with hitting the sidewalk. So immediately Frankie's on the case and starts investigating people who knew Taryn. Now, one of the main suspects is her college professor, Frank Dorian. It appears the two of them had some sort of relationship, and she liked her professor more than as just a teacher, and they even went to a conference together. Now, his wife, Margaret, of course, knows nothing about, the relationship. So the book is told in present day and flashbacks leading up to her fall from the balcony. And as Detective Loomis follows, instincts, of course, the professor seems the number one suspect. But as we find out, there are other people who wanted the truth not to come out. Taryn, unfortunately, was a victim of a very sick individual who knew that Taryn knew too much and she had to be silenced. So the relentless police work here, that's one of the great pluses of this book, is the fantastic detective work. And Tess Gerritsen and Gary Braver write so well together. And hopefully this is the first of many books that they will co-author, because it's a smooth style and a book that you will love, a book you will not be able to put down. The tension mounts page by page, and that is the mark of a Tess Gerritsen book. And actually, Gary Braver has also written 8 mysteries on his own, so he's no newcomer to the mystery world. So that is the second book I wanted to bring your attention. Choose the book, choose me, because it's definitely highly recommended reading. So those are the 2 books that I wanted to draw to your attention. Hopefully, when you make up your reading list, you will seek them out. So thank you again for watching Shelf Life Video Reviews Online. And as always, please send me your comments. And I will see you real soon. Stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and bye for now.